Welcome to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today, Spectrum has laid off over 1,000 customer service employees. We'll tell you where and what's happening with that. Why is Roku dominating cord cutting the way it does? Over 60% of you say you use a Roku over any other streaming player and prefer it. We'll tell you why they say that. We asked, you told us, we got the results. And a new Disney Plus features coming to the home screen that makes it much more useful to use the continue watching feature. These stories and a whole lot more coming up in a quick second. But first, I should say, if you want to learn more about these stories and you're new here, I put a link to each story in the first pinned comment and in the show notes so you can read them for yourself. If you like what we do here, please let YouTube know. We would really appreciate it. Just hit that subscribe or hit that thumbs up. Doing one or both is a huge help. With that said, let's dive into it. Now, Spectrum has been closing call centers all over the United States, and they say they're moving these calls to other locations. Now, because they've all been small, little, 60 people here, 200 there, it hasn't really become quite apparent how big this really is. But Spectrum has laid off over 1,000 customer service employees recently, with a lot of them losing their jobs this month. This includes people being laid off in Columbus, Ohio, Walker, Michigan, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Northern Kentucky, Austin, Texas, North Carolina, and other areas. With this, it comes as Spectrum says they are investing in technology in their call centers, and that's an important part, but they're merging them down. Now, a few things here. Spectrum has lost a lot of customers over the last few years, including now internet customers. With so many fewer customers, losing over, 405,000 TV customers in the first quarter, and something like 72,000 internet customers at the end of last year. You can see why they're saying, hey, maybe we don't need as many customer service agents. I think this is going to become a growing trend. Not only that, but increasingly companies are turning to AI. Now, I'm not saying Spectrum is doing that, but it is one of the things many companies are turning to try to grow. Now, with this, look for, they say no change, but I'll be very interesting. I tried to find some numbers online about average hold times for Spectrum call centers. But let's be honest, how often do you really call Spectrum customer service anymore? I think 90% of what I do now is through the chat system. A lot of that is AI bot driven, and then quick chats. I actually far prefer using the chat system versus a phone call for a variety of reasons. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think of all this. I'd love to hear from you. But Spectrum laying off over 1,000 customer service agents at call centers and help centers around the United States. All right, Roku has been dominating cord cutting for a very long time. And now we have a good idea of why. Now, we've done surveys, and for years and years, over 60% of our readers say they use a Roku. Now, that's often close to or double the next closest, which is Fire TV. And in this survey, Fire TV has just 19%. Think about Roku's at 60%. Fire TV's at 19%, Apple TV's at 15%, Google TVs are at 6%. So why? Why are they doing that? Well, the number one reason our readers say is the ease of use of Roku's. That very simple remote, that very simple user interface is the number one reason that they use a Roku over other devices. The simple user interface is a huge selling point to them with it. Other reasons include price, availability, app selection, and more with it. So my question to you is, do you agree with this? Now, of course, there's always arguments that Apple TV is way more beautiful. Fire TV has more powerful streaming players. Google TV has all kinds of other features. But people seem to be continually turning to Roku's, and they're happy with it. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your opinion on this. All right, there's a new Disney Plus update coming out. Now, this new update brings changes to the home screen, most of them very mild, but one of the ones that stands out is a update to the continue watching section. Now, on the continue watching section of your Roku home screen with the Disney Plus app, on the Disney Plus app on your Roku, rolling out to other devices soon, is a progress bar that will show you how far into an episode or movie you are. I love this because how many times have you clicked on continue watching a show to find out you were at the credits of something? Now, I think apps are getting better about not doing that, but it is nice to see, hey, we're halfway through a movie, why don't we finish that? Instead of just saying, hey, continue watching this. Am I continue watching the next episode? Am I continue watching the next a movie or in a series, or am I just picking up in the middle? I do think the apps need to be better about, hey, if I turn it off, if I get to the credits and I turn it off, that probably means I don't want to go back to that movie. I shouldn't have to fast forward through the end of the credits to clear it out and I continue watching. But it is what it is. I'd love to see that. This progress bar is a nice help for it, though. All right, let's keep moving along. The FTC has shut down a massive scam. Now, this isn't directly cord cutting, but there's a cord cutting tie-in I'm going to talk about in a second. Now, there is a group of people that have been facing investigations since 2015 that they took in over $28 million by sending letters to people claiming you won large sums of money, often over $2 million. But you had to pay like $20, $30 in processing fees to get it. And while in reality, these people had no money to give you, they would take that money and not give you anything back. The FTC has shut it down and struck a deal with them that they basically agree not to do anything in exchange for them shutting this down and no further prosecution by the FTC. Very interesting. I didn't see anything in the press release, maybe I missed it, about them repaying any money to those affected. But it is impressive that they did this all over the world, including the United States, took in $28 million just by asking for 20s and 30s. A lot of people must have fallen for this. And that's where the catch here comes. There is a growing number of reports I am seeing about scammers targeting cord cutters. I had a bunch of emails in the last week that were like, oh, your Disney subscription has expired. Click here. Often they're very poorly written in English, which probably gives you an idea they're not from America. But be very cautious of scammers doing all kinds of things, especially when it comes to renewal. Or I've even seen ones like, hey, you get discounts on Spectrum Internet. If you prepay for 6 months, you can get a discount for half off the your total year. Basically a year of Spectrum Internet for 6 months worth of internet. They're scams. So just be honest. There's so many scams now targeting cord cutting because so many people are doing it. You need to be very, very careful. That's my quick rant of the day. Again, be skeptical of anything you get by email. If something says you need to pay, whatever your Netflix account's being expired, don't click that link. Go to Netflix's website directly. Go to your account. Take a look at your payment information. Those are often scams, sadly. Which is tough because you do get a legitimate email from a streaming service reminding you, hey, your credit card's expiring or something. Now you're going to assume or just think it's a scam. But unfortunately, you have to do that in today's world. All right. Good news, by the time you're watching this, MeTV Tunes will be live. If you're a Philo or Friendly TV customer, you'll be able to watch MeTV Tunes there and in many markets around the United States. We have a full breakdown of everything you need to know about MeTV Tunes, including how to find out if it's available in your area free with an antenna. A link in the show notes down below. All right. I apologize. If you looked at yesterday's video, you saw a story in the list of stories I was going to talk about Redbox failing to make a payment. I didn't really talk about it. I skipped over it by mistake in the video. As I was going through my stories, I skipped that one by mistake. But late last week, Redbox had it came out that Redbox had a $4 million payment due to NBC Universal this year, or this month, for back unpaid royalties to NBC Universal. Turns out they did not pay it. Now, this was part of a larger settlement, a court ordered, where they owe NBC Universal $16.7 million that they were going to pay in installments. Now, if you've been following the Redbox's parent company, Chicken Soup for the Soul saga, you know they've been very tight on money and facing multiple allegations of not paying their bills since they bought Redbox a few years ago. They spent about $50 million for the company and assumed $325 million in debt to get Redbox back in 2022. And since then, money's been very tight. It looks like they don't have the money to pay this. Now, the big issue here is the court, per the deal, can now order Redbox to pay, their parent company to pay all 16 plus million at one time. If they didn't have $4 million, they probably don't have the $16 million right now. We'll keep an eye on this. Last week, or about a week ago now, a little over maybe by the time I'm publishing this, we learned that Redbox let go all of their board of directors except one person. A majority stockholder or the majority vote made that move. It'd be interesting. Redbox's parent company, Chicken Soup for the Soul, obviously owns that book series. It owns Crackle, Chicken Soup for the Soul streaming. I think there's another one out there, maybe if I'm not remembering correct. But they also own the Redbox kiosks, the Redbox video store, and the free Redbox streaming service with ads. We'll keep a close eye on this, but it's not looking particularly great for Redbox right now. Get your predictions in, what will happen. All right, if you head over to corecarsnews.com, you'll see a bunch of posts of what's new on Netflix, Max, and others. Link in the show notes down below if you want to check that out. Well, that's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic day. I answered a bunch of questions in the comments last night. If you have a question for me, leave me a comment like a question for Luke. I'll answer them in the comments or may answer them here. Again, start with a question for Luke. I've noticed some people don't do that. And unless I'm reading every comment very closely, sometimes when I'm looking for questions to do the videos, I just skim through looking for that real quick. And then later, often laying in bed, I'll read through comments from the day. But make sure you start off with that so I know it's something you want me to answer here on the video. And let me know what questions you have about cord cutting. I'd love to hear from you. If you're new here and you like this video, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, and hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of TV, but still watch the shows that you enjoy. Until next time, take care, be safe, have a great day.